Someone collapses on a crowded street. 20 people walk past. Nobody stops. You'd like to think you'd be different. You wouldn't. Not because you're cruel, because of something wired into you long before you were born. In 1964, a young woman named Kitty Genovese was attacked outside her apartment building in New York. Reports at the time claimed dozens of neighbors heard her cries and did nothing. That account was later shown to be exaggerated, but it sparked a question two psychologists couldn't let go of. Why do people freeze when someone needs help? John Darley and Biblatani set out to test it. In 1968, they ran a now-famous experiment. Participants sat alone in a room or with strangers while smoke began seeping in from a vent. Alone, most people reported it within minutes. In a group, most did nothing. They sat there, watching the smoke thicken, waiting for someone else to move first. Here's the strange part. It wasn't apathy, it was math. Your brain was running without asking you. Darley and Latani called it diffusion of responsibility. When you're the only witness, the weight of the moment lands entirely on you. When you're one of 20, that weight splits 20 ways. Your brain quietly reasons that someone else will act. Someone more qualified. Someone closer. Everyone in the crowd thinks the same thing. Nobody moves. There's a second force at work, and it's older than psychology has a name for. Social referencing. Before you commit to an unusual action, some part of you scans the room for permission. If nobody else looks alarmed, your brain concludes maybe there's nothing to be alarmed about. You take your emotional cues from the crowd, even when the crowd is wrong. Think about the last time something felt off in public. A stranger arguing too loudly. Smoke that shouldn't be there. Did you glance around first? Most people do. You were checking everyone else's face before trusting your own instinct. This isn't a flaw invented by modern cities. For most of human history, you lived in small bands of maybe 30 to 50 people. Everyone knew everyone. Responsibility was never diffuse because there was no anonymous crowd to hide inside. If danger came, you were seen not helping. That cost something. Reputation, alliance, survival itself. Strip away the tribe and something breaks. Cities gave humans anonymity for the first time in evolutionary history. You can now stand shoulder to shoulder with 50 strangers and share responsibility with none of them because none of them will remember your face tomorrow. The ancient math of small groups collapses the moment the group gets large enough to be faceless. Later, researchers pushed the finding further. Psychologist Biblatani continued studying group behavior for decades, showing that the more witnesses present at an emergency, the less likely any single one is to help. Not a little less likely. Dramatically less likely. A person alone with someone in distress helps most of the time. Add a crowd, and the odds fall sharply. So what actually breaks the freeze? Darley and Latani found something almost absurdly simple worked. Being singled out. If a bystander is looked at directly, addressed by name or description, told exactly what to do, the diffusion collapses instantly. You is enough. Not someone. You, in the red jacket, call an ambulance. The responsibility snaps back onto one set of shoulders and people act. That single mechanic explains a strange amount of your daily behavior. It's why group chats die when a question gets asked to everyone and answered by no one. It's why a teacher calling on one student gets a real answer while asking the whole class gets silence. It's why disaster response training now teaches people to point at a specific bystander instead of shouting for help in general. You are not less caring than your ancestors. You are running the same social software, dropped into a world your ancestors never designed it for. Small tribes made responsibility automatic, anonymous crowds made it optional, and your mind still hasn't caught up to the difference. Next time you're one face in a crowd and something feels wrong, notice the pull. The urge to check other faces first. The quiet hope that someone more qualified will step up. That pull isn't weakness. It's 30,000 years of tribal wiring, running headfirst into a species that built cities faster than it could rebuild its instincts. 20 people walked past that day, and it wasn't cruelty that kept them walking. It was the same ancient calculation running in all 20 heads at once, each one certain someone else already had it covered.